welcome to another episode of your Sunday Tonic Newsline on this first Sunday of the Ember month. I am Jennifer Igwe, standing in for your regular anchor, Becky Madujemo. Now, the good old saying that what a man can do, a woman can do better is true to some extent, especially because of the swags women add to it. Our story on this will tell you more. Now, do you know the use of chemicals as preservatives can be dangerous if badly handled? Why? Stay tuned to find out. Then the compulsive need to spend hours and days on the internet is a growing behavioral addiction. Our report on it sheds more light on the issue. We also have a potpourri of stories that mirror patriotism, great initiatives, including positive and negative trends. Then a fascinating social diary shows a culture of celebration in Nigeria. In all, human angle stories to surely give you a food for thought. I'll pause here so that Elizabeth Omoruyi will give the news for the day. Newsline will continue afterwards. Over to you, Lizzie.
Hello, Jennifer. It's nice to see you, and thanks for joining us on the news segment of the program. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja after a successful outing at the 7th International Conference on African Development in Yokohama, Japan. State House correspondent Adamu Samba reports that the president arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at about 11:30 Saturday evening. On hand to receive him were the Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Musa Bello, his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, and the Japanese embassy officials led by that country's ambassador to Nigeria. Others are the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, Director General of the Department of State Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. Apart from participating at the conference with the theme Advancing Africa's Development Through People, Technology and Innovation, President Muhammadu Buhari also engaged several other heads of state and government, private industrial concerns as well as financial institutions on areas of collaboration and cooperation with Nigeria. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema described the visit to Japan as a worthwhile undertaking.
Nigeria has been a part of shaping the next 3 years of TCAD, and so is in a very good position to get some of the investments that the Japanese government are going to put into TCAD. So that's obviously the main reason for being here.
The minister also listed some of the underway takeaways are the personal interactions with world leaders on the sidelines of the conference, particularly on the issue of xenophobia in South Africa and closure of Nigeria-Benin border, as well as direct investment to Nigeria. Now to security. The federal government is set to improve the welfare and logistics of officers and soldiers in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, announced this in Maiduguri, Borno State, while addressing officers and members of the Borno Elders Forum at a dinner organized in his honor by the Nigerian Army. Bashir Magashi, a retired Major General, stressed that President Muhammadu Buhari has issued him a marching order to quickly end terrorism in the region and stem criminality in other parts of the country.
Our welfare and motivation more seriously than ever before. We will also make sure that the entitlement of officers and soldiers are promptly paid. Those who died, their pension and gratuities are well taken care of.
The members of the Borno Elders Forum would like to see a much closer relationship to quickly conclude the remnants of the vestiges of the threat that we've been facing across the Borno State as well as the Northeast.
We are ready to help in our capacity as elders so that you will be on top of this crisis.
Still on security, some repentant bandits in Zamfara State have surrendered 4 rifles, live ammunition and military uniforms to the State Police Command. Halil Mohammed Umar reports that the Zamfara State Commissioner of Police displayed the weapons to Governor Bello Mohammed at the Government House, Gusau. The development assess marks the commencement of the disarmament aspect of the ongoing peace initiative in the state. The weapons and uniforms were later handed over to the Nigerian Army. And we're not done with security yet. The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, has charged troops of Sector 3 in Gubiu, Borno State, to be focused and ensure rapid clearance of the remnant of Boko Haram. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the minister gave the charge while on an operational visit to Borno State.
The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, is in the command and control base Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. His mission is to appraise the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. After a closed-door interaction with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, principal officers and commanders, the minister proceeded to Magumeri and Gubiu General Area of Responsibility in northern Borno, where he urged troops of Sector 3 not to be deterred.
Whatever you need to encourage you this job, I assure you the Nigerian government will be prepared ever before to do the kind of thing that will make you more motivated to do this job. Am I understood?
Socio-economic activities has resumed in Gubiu town after recent repel attack. But residents appeal for deployment of more troops to further secure the agrarian community. The minister later inspected ongoing rehabilitation of structures at the super camp in Chabang and visited recuperating troops at the medical center in Malari Cantonment. The visit of the minister to the theater command, Magumeri and Gubiu General Area of Responsibility, is his first major military engagement as the new Minister of Defense. From the headquarters of Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Air Force says its Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has neutralized scores of Boko Haram terrorists in air strikes conducted on the 31st of August 2019 at USC in Borno State. In a statement by NAF Director Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikule Daramola, the air raid was executed in continuation of Operation Green Sweep 3 after credible human intelligence reports confirmed by series of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions established that the settlement was being used as a hideout for the terrorists. The Air Task Force therefore detailed 2 Alpha jets and an L-39ZA aircraft to attack the target area where several Boko Haram terrorists were seen attempting to flee. While many others concealed themselves in various locations within the area, the jets took turns attacking the target, scoring crucial hits on the hideout, leading to the neutralization of several Boko Haram fighters. And now to police affairs. The Police Service Commission says it will meet this week to take a decision on the recruitment of 10,000 Nigerians into the constable cadre of the Niger Police Force, a process which is currently at its final stage. In a statement by the head press and public relations, Ike Chukwuani, the commission assures applicants that the exercise will be conducted soon and the names of successful candidates released. The commission, it says, will continue to carry the Niger Police Force and other stakeholders in the police sector along in this very important presidential assignment and will ensure that the exercise remains merit-driven, transparent, and according to the laws guiding the public service. The statement also advised applicants not to be agitated as the exercises under control and in progress. And now to other matters. Residents of Osogbo, the Osun State capital, are counting their losses, while others are appealing to the federal and state governments to save them from a more devastating flood as a result of persistent rain. Femi Afariogun reports that houses were submerged following a heavy rain in Osogbo for 2 days.
The prediction by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NEMA that some states, including Osun State, might likely experience flooding is already happening. After 2 days of heavy downpour, people whose houses and workshops are about 50 meters from the major Osun River that flowed through the state capital are not spared from the destructive nature of the flood. They believe government need to take urgent steps to avert the disaster the flood will cause.
The water was not as much as this. You see that it's increasing.
In fact, the water has spoiled many things of our documents.
Osun State government is already thinking of how to manage this situation.
That those who live very close to the river, that they should for now know that they have to evacuate the place.
There's an emergency number, toll-free emergency number for incidents like this, 293, that can be called.
They also warn people against indiscriminate dumping of refuse in drainages. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Now to flood management. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has restated federal government's commitment to provide quick intervention for victims of flood disasters in Adamawa State. The Acting Director General, NEMA, Air Commodore Akube Iyamu, stated this during a visit to areas affected by flood in Yola. Abdullahi Ayuba Dalwa reports.
The recent heavy rain observed in the state has caused the loss of lives and destroyed valuable property worth millions of naira. This necessitated both the state and the federal government set a committee to visit some of the affected areas with a view to ascertain the level of damage.
This is our third time here this year from National Emergency Management Agency. He is very passionate about the happenings and follows it. So what we're going to do, thank the state government who is always giving us the support. Adamawa State Emergency Management is one of the most active and cooperative that we have around. So we'll work with them.
We are very grateful to the federal government for taking that quick decision to come and see by themselves. We appreciate what government is doing now.
Some victims appeal to both the state and federal government for quick assistance.
Really, the flood was very, very tedious, and even there are 2 loss of life and many dislocations and injuries.
Some of the affected areas visited include Waurujabe, Damilu, and Bachure. In Yola, Abdullahi Ayubadalwa, NTA News.
Still on flood management, Dara community in Katsina State, which was hit by massive floods last week, will receive additional assistance from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, contrary to the allegations that President Muhammad Buhari has turned his back on the people of Dara, there's confirmation that pre-assessment relief materials were dispatched to the victims within 48 hours of the floods. 10 trailer loads of building materials, including zinc, planks and cement, as well as blankets, mattresses, tons of grains, cereals and other edibles have so far been delivered and signed for by stakeholders, a gesture the Emir of Dara appreciated. NEMA has equally promised that as soon as the assessment of the damage to the flood-ravaged communities is reported, more food items and building materials would be dispatched to the communities. To other matters now, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, has noted that the possibility for Nigeria to own a central source of information on career and job opportunities, as well as the set skills required, is underway through a functional labor market system. Oningate Fineface reports.
It is common to find thousands of graduates in Nigeria scramble for limited vacancies during recruitment exercises. Conversations in this stakeholder sensitization meeting, organized by the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, are focused on mitigating this gap between labor and the market through the collation, processing and analysis of related data in what is known as labor market information system.
We should be able to have a well-coordinated, information in terms of labor market information that will drive our economy by way of skills, by way of addressing unemployment.
The system, if institutionalized in Nigeria, will help government to formulate viable labor policies, while individuals will be empowered to make productive career decisions.
Our emphasis on the young people, we are almost leaving the stage for them. So they should be guided and pointed in the right direction.
With the means of guidance and counseling that we have in our various institutions, the students can be so guided as to what skills would be marketable.
That is the only way by which we can give hope to our young ones and the way to plan our development and economy.
Discussions at the meeting emphasized legislations on LMI system and determination of funding agencies to actualize a robust labor market information system in Nigeria. In Abuja, Onegiye Fineface, NTA News.
Now, the APC National Leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and the APC National Chairman Adams Oshiomhole have described the Esogban of Benin Kingdom, Chief David Edebiri, as a patriot who is worthy to be celebrated. They spoke at an event to mark the Esogban's 90th birthday in Benin. Steve Lona Nwokolo reports.
It was a gathering of who is who in Benin City and beyond that graced the auspicious occasion of the Esogban of Benin Kingdom. To the APC national leader and the national chairman, Chief Edebiri is a committed leader and dependable personality.
You may no longer be partisan, but you are still the oracle, you are still the father and finder and leader of many of us.
When we say you are the source of inspiration, of guidance, of advice, and so on, we are not exaggerating. And we hope that God will give you many, many more years.
The celebrant expressed gratitude to God and the guests for the love and support shown to him.
Overwhelmed by the number and quality of people who are present here today.
The Esogban of Benin Kingdom, Chief David Edebiri, is a frontline journalist, a patriotic Nigerian who was inspired into politics by the late nationalist Nnamdi Azikiwe's movement between 1946 and 1950 in Benin. Steve Lonai, Nwokolo, NTA News.
And out to religion, members of Knights of St. John International and their families took time to unwind and integrate in Lagos for the purpose of ensuring that young members imbibe the Catholic faith. Emeco reports.
Members of the Knights of St. John International gathered from various parts of Lagos to participate in the event that featured competition including march past by various groups, dancing, fashion parade, recitation, among others. The concept of the gathering is to ensure that young members of the fraternity relate with one another while they deepen their understanding of the Catholic faith.
What we are doing here today is developing our children to know about the faith, the Catholic faith.
The Knights of St. John, we have 4 cadres. Number 1 is the Knights. Number 2, the ladies, that is the Lux. And the number 3 is the cadet, and the number 4 is the junior.
The knighthood actually, we are soldiers of Christ, and through the church, we try to reach out, one, to defend the faith, and as well carry out charitable works.
Prizes were presented to winners at the end of the competition.
All these children, they have their own potentials, that is innate in them.
We do this fun fair every year because it helps children to be able to get closer to each other, and it makes them come closer to God.
Today it was like the best day of my life.
Knights of St. John International began in Nigeria in 1976. It was incorporated in the year 1886, with members committing themselves to the service of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. In Lagos, Amaka O, NT News.
Let's now take you to Anambra State, where about 2,500 widows have had cause to smile home recently, as Emeco Foundation once again celebrated them with bags of rice and cash grants at this year's Afiolu New Yam Festival in Anambra State. Ekene Undule has details.
These women, drawn from various communities of the state, have one thing in common. They are all widows, but thanks to charity, they have been uplifted from the common story of dejection and helplessness. For Monica Nwabeze, and a host of other widows. The Emeco Foundation has met them at their point of need with empowerment programs that has sustained them economically over the past 10 years.
Emeco give us rice, December, Easter, and the Afioro. Emeco give us money, 15,500,000, to enable us to take loan to go and trade.
The man is good, very, very, very good in Orifite widows. We thank God for all the things He do for us.
Mrs. Adora Ofo, wife of the chairman Emeco Foundation, announced that 10 new buildings will be donated to 10 widows annually beginning from next year. 2,500 widows categorized into 8 cooperative societies are currently listed as direct beneficiaries under the foundation's empowerment program.
The vision behind this foundation, as you can see in the foundation's motto, is to support the indigent people of this community and then a number of cities.
Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Reports just reaching us says the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mele Kyari, has debunked reports of explosion of the Abura crude trunk line operated by the corporation at Otu Jeremy Town in Uheli, Delta State. A statement from Undu Hamado Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, says the incident was a mere rupture of one of the pipelines which would be fixed within 3 days. The GMD says NNPC have since contained the split coming out of that pipeline, stressing that there was no fire anywhere on the pipeline, so there is no cause for alarm. Mele Kyari assured that the incident would have no impact on the nation's power supply and urged the host communities within the area to disregard the rumor. And out to sports, Team Nigeria returns after second place